All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Centre advises states to form teams to coordinate with vaccine manufacturers and private hospitals for timely supply of vaccine. Health Minister Harshvardhan asks Rajasthan government to probe high wastage and dumping of COVID vaccines into dustbins in the state. Uttar Pradesh government to launch a massive drive today to vaccinate 1 crore people in June. Unlock process to begin today in Madhya Pradesh and UP. Government simplifies family pension rules keeping in mind the pandemic. Delhi High Court says Twitter will have to comply with India's new IT rules. National Commission for Protection of Child's Rights asks Delhi Police to register FIR against Twitter for violation of Foxhole Act. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to chair Brics Foreign Ministers meeting today. And Sanjeet bags gold medal at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. In the wake of COVID-19, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, take all precautions, and all those above 45 years of age who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with the second dose at the scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. National helplines are operational for providing COVID-related information and guidance to the people. The national helpline number is 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. The Centre has advised states and union territories to constitute 2 to 3 member dedicated team to regularly coordinate with vaccine manufacturers and private hospitals for timely supplies of vaccine. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan yesterday held a review meeting through video conferencing with administrators from states and UTs on the progress of vaccination in the states. He said nearly 12 crore doses will be available to states and UTs this month, which will enable them to ramp up the vaccination numbers. Mr. Bhushan also pointed out that there is a substantial scope to accelerate the pace of vaccination even further. He urged them to increase the number of near-to-home vaccination centres and create awareness among the masses for use of these COVID vaccination centres. These centres can be open in Panchayat Ghar, school buildings, old age homes, community centre and Residents Welfare Association office. States and UTs were also exhorted to proactively increase engagement with private hospitals on COVID vaccinations. The Secretary also asked the states to make focused efforts to drastically reduce wastage of COVID vaccines. Mr. Bhushan suggested them to retrain and reorient vaccinators to ensure judicious usage of the vaccines. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has urged Rajasthan government to probe the report of alleged high wastage of COVID vaccine in the state. In a letter to the State Health Minister, Raghu Sharma, Dr. Harshvardhan, while referring to a media report, said the high COVID-19 vaccine wastage in certain districts of Rajasthan is a matter of grave concern and asked him to urgently investigate the matter and firm up the planning of vaccination drive. A media report has highlighted that more than 500 vials of COVID-19 vaccines were found dumped in the waste bins of 35 COVID vaccination centres in the state. The Union Health Minister said in almost all districts, vaccine wastage is more than the national average, which is less than 1%.
Government has termed the media report suggesting that even a successful booking on the COVID platform for a vaccination slot does not assure one of a COVID-19 vaccine jab as baseless. The Health Ministry has said these reports are not supported by full information on the matter. It added that COVID platform facilitates registration, appointments, vaccination and certification of beneficiary, and the availability of slots on the portal is based on the vaccination schedule published by District Immunization Officers, DIOs. States and union territories have been advised that they should publish vaccination slots based on the availability of vaccines. The ministry said it was noticed that in some cases the DIOs were publishing a session and then in case vaccines were in short supply, they used to cancel such sessions or return the beneficiaries. The cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country exceeded 21.58 crores. On the 136th day of the nationwide vaccination drive yesterday, 25,52,501 vaccine doses were given. Over 12,23,000 beneficiaries of the age group 18 to 44 years received their first dose, and over 13,000 beneficiaries of the same age group received their second dose of COVID vaccine yesterday. Over 2 crore 2 lakh persons across 37 states and UTs have received their first dose, and over 23,000 persons have received their second dose since the start of Phase 3 of the vaccination drive. Bihar, Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal have administered more than 10 lakh beneficiaries of the age group 18 to 44 years for the first dose of COVID vaccine. Over 1.66 crore doses administered healthcare workers, over 2.41 crore doses given to frontline workers, over 7.71 crore doses to people in the age group of 45 to 60, and 7.76 crore doses given to people aged 60 and above.
The Uttar Pradesh government will launch a massive drive today to vaccinate 1 crore people against corona across the state this month. So far, the vaccination drive was confined to 23 districts only. We have more from our Lucknow correspondent.
The drive will be conducted in all 75 districts of the state to safeguard the people from deadly coronavirus and will focus on beneficiaries of both the age groups 18 plus and those above the age of 45. Separate guardian special booths will be set up in all districts. Such persons whose children are below the age of 12 years will be contacted and encouraged to get vaccinated on priority. Special camps will also be set up for journalists, government employees and members of the judiciary. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed officials to prepare work plan for a special vaccination drive for socially and economically weaker sections like drivers, vendors and rickshaw pullers from 15th June. In order to meet the target of 1 crore vaccinations, around 6,000 vaccination centers will be set up across the state. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Uttar Pradesh, the unlock process of Corona curfew will start in a phased manner from today across 61 districts. State government had yesterday decided to lift the COVID curfew with certain guidelines, but weekend COVID curfew will continue to remain throughout the state. The COVID curfew will continue in 14 districts that have more than 600 active cases. In the remaining 61 districts, shops will be allowed to open with strict safety protocols from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Night curfew will continue in the whole state.
After nearly 2 months of lockdown, Madhya Pradesh is being unlocked from today. The state government has issued a fresh set of guidelines for unlock, allowing the reopening of shops of essential items from today. The government has approved a phase-wise unlocking of the corona curfew restrictions. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The corona curfew will continue in the entire state from 10 p.m. on Saturday night to 6 a.m. on Monday. Night curfew will also remain in force from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day. There will be a ban on all social, political and religious events in the entire state. Sports, entertainment, educational, cultural activities, cinema halls, shopping malls and auditorium will also be closed. Addressing the people of the state yesterday, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan said that the corona curfew will continue till June 15th. He said that we will follow the mantra of prosperity with security in the state. Government officers, except those involved in essential activities, will be allowed to run in the presence of 50% of employees and 100% of officers. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Bihar, over 6,85,000 people have so far recovered from corona. State's recovery rate has risen to 97%, while the test positivity rate has declined to 1.1%. COVID cases in all districts is less than 100 cases except Patna. The number of active cases is also decreasing and presently stands at 16,235. 1,113 fresh COVID cases were reported in the state during the last 24 hours and 3,196 people recovered yesterday. Over 1 crore 4,34,000 people have been vaccinated in the state so far.
The Gujarat government has decided to give priority in vaccination against COVID-19 to the students going abroad for further study. This decision was taken in the core committee meeting chaired by Chief Minister Vijay Rupani at Gandhinagar last evening. This decision has been taken in the interest of a number of students going abroad for study in the coming months. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani said that all district collectors have been authorized to implement this decision. In municipal corporation areas, the responsibility has been given to the respective municipal commissioners. Such students will have to personally contact the collector with I-20 or DS-160 form or the admission confirmation letter from the foreign college or university. Meanwhile, Gujarat has recorded 1,681 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. 4,721 patients recovered and discharged from the various hospitals. Recovery rate further improved and reached up to 94.79%. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Maharashtra reported 15,077 cases in 24 hours, the lowest in 3 months. The daily death count has also dropped to a 2-month low as the state reported 184 COVID fatalities. Along with the state capital Mumbai, Thane, Nashik, Sangli, Amravati and Parbhani districts are moving to ease restrictions followed by the decrease in daily cases. We have more from our Mumbai correspondent.
The Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai has listed new guidelines for the graded reopening in the city. According to these guidelines, all shops selling essential items will be allowed to be open between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. starting from today till 15th of June. Shops selling non-essential commodities will be allowed to open on alternate days. All non-essential stores will, however, remain shut on weekends. On the other hand, restrictions are tightened in Ratnagiri and Satara districts to contain the spread of coronavirus. Along with essential services, hospitals, medical shops and health services, their transportation and supply chain have been allowed to remain open in Satara. In Ratnagiri, the borders of the district will remain closed for entry from other districts or travel to other districts, apart from emergencies till 8th of June. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
Karnataka Health and Medical Education Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar has said that the unlock decision will be based on scientific advice. Speaking to media persons in Bengaluru yesterday, he said that the report submitted by the Technical Advisory Committee on unlock norms will be discussed in the cabinet meeting and a decision will be taken on gradually ending the lockdown. At present, the state is under lockdown till the morning of the 7th of June. The minister has tweeted that Karnataka received 1.64 lakh doses of Covaxin yesterday sent by the central government. Totally, till now, the state has received 15.86 lakh doses of Covaxin from the central government and another 1.94 lakh doses are procured by the state. Tamil Nadu has registered more than 27,000 fresh COVID cases yesterday. The health department has said that over 31,000 patients have been discharged after treatment. A total of 478 people lost their lives to the pandemic. Around 305,000 people are under treatment for COVID. More from our Chennai correspondent.
Greater Chennai Corporation has said that more than 20 lakh people out of the 80 lakh population have been vaccinated. The number of people getting the vaccine in the city increased in the last 7 to 10 days due to a massive vaccination drive organized by the corporation. Several vaccination camps are being conducted in the city with the help of different organizations. The Madras High Court has asked the state government to ensure those who are living in the pavements also to be vaccinated. In a case heard by the first bench of the Madras High Court yesterday, Chief Justice Sanjeev Banerjee and Justice Sendil Ramamurthy asked the government to file a report on such vaccination within 4 weeks. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
India has reported the lowest number of daily new COVID-19 cases in 50 days. A total of 1,52,734 cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has increased to 91.6%. The recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 18th consecutive day. A total of 2,38,022 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries across the country so far is over 2,56,92,000. 3,128 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to 3,29,000. The centre has allowed the supply of oxygen to certain industries on temporary basis, subject to ensuring adequate supply of medical oxygen to hospitals and other medical purposes. This came as Home Ministry had received requests from oxygen manufacturing industries to allow the supply of oxygen to industries other than the industries exempted by it. The industries which made the requests were continuous process industries like furnaces, refineries, steel, aluminium and copper processing plants. MSMEs, food processing units and others had also urged Home Ministry.
Railways has delivered more than 21,939 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Railway Ministry said it is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states, and so far 321 oxygen expresses have completed their journey. The offloading of liquid medical oxygen in Delhi NCR region by oxygen expresses has crossed 7,500 tons.
The centre has been disseminating awareness of 4 national-level helpline numbers created for the benefit of the citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. Information and Broadcasting Ministry is promoting awareness about these helpline numbers through its various departments. The national helpline for COVID-related queries is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 080-4611-0007.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Centre advises states to form teams to coordinate with vaccine manufacturers and private hospitals for timely supply of vaccine. Health Minister Harshvardhan asks Rajasthan government to probe high wastage and dumping of COVID vaccines into dustbins in the state. Uttar Pradesh government to launch a massive drive today to vaccinate 1 crore people in June. Unlock process to begin today in Madhya Pradesh and UP. Government simplifies family pension rules keeping in mind the pandemic. Delhi High Court says Twitter will have to comply with India's new IT rules. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights asks Delhi Police to register FIR against Twitter for violation of POXO Act. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to chair Brics Foreign Ministers meeting today. And Sanjeet bags gold medal at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Jitendra Singh, has said that the family pension rules have been simplified in view of the COVID pandemic. He said a provision was recently made for the provisional family pension to be sanctioned immediately on receipt of claim for family pension and death certificate from the eligible family member without waiting for other formalities or procedural requirements to be completed. Dr. Jitendra Singh said this provision is applicable in case of death happening during the pandemic, either because of COVID or because of non-COVID cause. On the death of a government servant during service, provisional family pension could be sanctioned to the eligible member of the family only after the family pension case has been forwarded to the Pay and Accounts Office. However, in view of the ongoing pandemic, instructions were issued that provisional family pension may be sanctioned immediately on the receipt of a claim for family pension and death certificate from the eligible family member without waiting for forwarding of the family pension case to Pay and Accounts Office. The minister also informed that in view of the COVID pandemic, another important reform announced recently provides that payment of provisional pension may be extended up to a period of 1 year from the date of retirement with the concurrence of Pay and Accounts Office and after the approval by the head of the department. Delhi High Court has said that Twitter will have to comply with new information technology rules for digital media since these have not been stayed. Justice Rekha Palli issued a notice to the centre and the social media platform Twitter seeking their stand on a plea by a lawyer, Amit Acharya, claiming non-compliance of the rules by Twitter. while Twitter claimed before the court that it has complied with the rules and appointed a resident grievance officer. The central government disputed the claim. During the hearing, the central government standing counsel, Ripudaman Singh Bharadwaj, told the court that Twitter has not complied with the rules. The new IT rules took effect from 25th of February, and the centre had given 3 months to every social media intermediary, including Twitter, to comply with them. The 3-month period got over on 25th of May, but no resident grievance officer was appointed by Twitter to deal with complaints regarding tweets on its platform. The petitioner has sought a direction to Twitter to appoint a resident grievance officer without further delay. It has also sought a direction to the centre to ensure that the IT rules are complied with.
National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, NCPCR, has asked Delhi Police to register an FIR against Twitter. NCPCR has also asked Centre to stop access of children to Twitter till the platform is safe for children and till Twitter does not start reporting complaints of child sexual violence to Indian authorities. NCPCR chairperson Priyank Kanungo said that Twitter has links to WhatsApp groups where child sexual abuse material is available and is being sold. He added that Twitter has also links where toolkits to deep web and dark web are available. He said in an investigation of a complaint, NCPCR has found that rape threats of a small child was made when the child's photograph was uploaded on the platform. Mr. Kanungo said that NCPCR has observed that Twitter has given NCPCR false information regarding the relationship between Twitter India and Twitter America in the context of control over content. He said that Twitter has violated Foxhole Act and IPC. Government has said that 13% more wheat has been procured during current Rabi marketing season in comparison to corresponding period last year. Consumer Affairs Ministry said a quantity of over 406 lakh tons of wheat has been procured against last year's corresponding purchase of 360 lakh tons. The ministry said about 43,55,000 farmers have already been benefited from the ongoing procurement operations with MSP value of over 80,334 crore rupees. It said procurement of wheat is continuing smoothly in the procuring states of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Delhi and Jammu and Kashmir.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will chair the meeting of Brics Ministers of Foreign Affairs and International Relations today. India, as the current Brics chair, has convened a stand-alone meeting which will be held through video conferencing. Minister of Foreign Affairs of Brazil, Ambassador Carlos Alberto Franco Franca, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Wang Yi, and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of South Africa, Ms. Grace Naledi Mandisa Pandor, are expected to participate. More from our correspondent.
The Brics foreign ministers are expected to exchange views on the COVID-19 pandemic situation. They are expected to discuss on the need for strengthening and reforming the multilateral system with a view to enhancing its capacity to effectively address the diverse challenges and to adapt them to contemporary realities. Global and regional issues of concern, sustainable development, countering terrorism, besides ways to enhance intra-Brics cooperation, especially people-to-people cooperation, expected to figure during the deliberations. India is the Brics chair for 2021. It is the third time India is holding the Brics chairship after 2012 and 2016. The member countries have a combined GDP of $16.6 trillion. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
Indian heavyweight boxer Sanjeet bagged gold at the Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai yesterday. He defeated Olympic silver medalist Vasily Levitt of Kazakhstan in the men's 91 kg final to hand India its second gold. Indian contingent concluded its successful campaign with an unprecedented 15 medals, including 2 gold, 5 silver and 8 bronze medals. Pooja Rani had clinched the first gold in the women's 75 kg category on Sunday. Earlier 6-time world champion MC Mary Kom, Pangal, Thapa, Lal Buatsai and Anupama grabbed silver medals, while 8 boxers Vikas Krishan, Simranjeet Kaur, Lovelina Borgohain, Jasmine, Sakshi Chaudhary, Monica Sweetie and Varinder Singh bagged bronze. Thapa, a World Championships bronze medalist, is only the second male boxer in the world to win 5 medals at the Asian Championships.
In a major upset in the French Open tennis, world number 85 Tamara Sidansek of Slovenia ousted 6-seed Bianca Andreescu of Canada in the first round of the women's singles. Former world number 1 Serena Williams sailed through the first round but not without a fight as her opponent Romance Irania Kemili Begu made her to work in the first set. She won 7-6, 6-2. Also, 4th seed Sofia Kenin of the US and world number 1 Iga Swiatek of Poland won their first round matches. In men's category, former world number 1 Roger Federer defeated Denis Istomin of Uzbekistan 6-2, 6-4, 6-3 to reach the second round. World number 2 Daniil Medvedev of Russia recorded his first win at Roland Garros on the 5th attempt as he swept aside Kazakhstan's Alexander Bublik 6-3, 6-3, 7-5. Rain with gusty winds lashed Delhi and the national capital region around midnight last night, bringing respite from the scorching heat. Indian Met Department said that thunder squall with moderate to heavy rain and gusty winds lashed Ghaziabad, Indirapuram, Noida, Greater Noida, Kurukshetra, Karnal, Panipat, Sonipat, Jind, Rohtak, Jajjar and Mahendragarh. In Delhi, trees were uprooted in many areas, leading to hindrance in movement of traffic.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 38 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Leh will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Gilgit will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 16 and 34 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Dehradun will have thunderstorm with rain. Chandigarh will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The national capital Delhi will have thunderstorm with rain, and Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Vax for all by year-end, says government as Supreme Court questions dual pricing policy. Headlines The Tribune. The Hindu says SC bats for one price for vaccine across nation. GDP contracts 7.3% in financial year 21, but uptick in quarter 4 with push from manufacturing, reports the Indian Express, as the rise in government spends helps economy fare better than expected. A headline in the Pioneer reports, Twitter falls into line, says no question of not complying with rules. Hindustan Times on its front page writes about the new nomenclature of the SARS-CoV-2 strains. Variants get new names. B.1.671.2 is now Delta. The Economic Times reports, fear no longer a factor. These street bulls continue winning run. Egg sales get cracking during pandemic. Riding on protein power, mentions the Hindu business line. And finally, in a major policy shift, China allows 3 kids after census data showed a steep decline in birth rates, has been cited by the Times of India and all the other dailies.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Centre advises states to form teams to coordinate with vaccine manufacturers and private hospitals for timely supply of vaccines. Health Minister Harshvardhan asks Rajasthan government to probe high wastage and dumping of COVID vaccines into dustbins in the state. Uttar Pradesh government to launch a massive drive today to vaccinate 1 crore people in June. Unlock process to begin today in Madhya Pradesh and UP. Government simplifies family pension rules keeping in mind the pandemic. Delhi High Court says Twitter will have to comply with India's new IT rules. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights asks Delhi Police to register FIR against Twitter for violation of Foxhole Act. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to chair Brics Foreign Ministers meeting today. And Sanjeet bags gold medal at Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsoneir.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.